Avowed. I like that name, but what does it even mean? It's an adjective and it means asserted, admitted, or publicly stated. When a person is avowed, it means openly acknowledged or declared. Well, I guess that title fits because you are so-called godlike and is very much declared one through one of the gods of Eora before you were even born. During this video, I am going to talk about what I like and don't like so far about the game, and keep in mind, this is my first impressions. So let's start off with what I like. Avowed is a semi-open world experience made by Obsidian, who is also the studio behind Outer Worlds. With all of these games coming out in the near future, I really appreciate that Avowed has a playtime of about 30 hours. That's not bad, for I can completely manage that, as opposed to other RPGs that are 50 plus hours long. Visually, the game looks great. I don't think that it's pushing boundaries graphically, but the art style, the beautiful colors, and great lighting is definitely carrying. I'm satisfied with it. It helps with immersion and keeps me wanting to play the game on top of exploring. Knowing this is only semi-open world, it has me wanting to backtrack and peep every corner that lies in my way. They always have some sort of collectibles for you, whether it's money or new weapons to try. You can always expect something while you're wandering around where you don't even notice when you're lost. I think this game is definitely going to have some competition for the best looking game of this year. The voice acting is really good. For each character that you fully interact with really feels like they have their own personality. So let me explain what that means. You can tell they made an emphasis with the body language in this game. They are given full range of motion when they are speaking, as opposed to most RPGs in the past, where they only move one arm up and down or they stay completely still and you can only see them talking. This small detail keeps the dialogue engaging, gives a sense of, and I'm using air quotes here, speaking to an actual person. I really like that. They have a bunch of different options you can choose from while conversing to get more details about the characters you meet, and as they should. Oh, and they brought back the GOAT, Brandon Keener, who was the voice actor for Garrus in Mass Effect, and Avowed he voices a character named Kai. Now let's get into my favorite part about this game, and that is the gameplay and combat. At first I had to get used to it, but then I finally grasped what they were trying to display, and I think they executed it well. There are so many different weapons and items that we can choose from, and a bunch of different combinations you can put together with weapons and spells. For example, you can run a sword and shield as your primary, and your secondary class can be a grimoire and a shield. Or you can run a great hammer as the primary and have a wand and spear as your secondary. What I'm running for my classes are a grimoire and a sword, and my secondary is a wand and dagger, for that is what suits my playstyle the best. You can swing hammers and maces, stab with spears, use bow and arrows, conjure spells, and you can combo between spells and the weapons you decide to use in battle. They give you the most options for however you want to play. How you tend to use your imagination while finding a certain playstyle is totally up to you. Like I said, I like to run the grimoire and sword, but swinging a big ass hammer around feels just right also. It's extremely slow, but it hits like a truck, and that sound design is perfect when you are smacking your enemies on the battlefield. The skill tree is steep, but they are so damn generous to the point where you can respec at any given time so that you can try out any class and upgrades that you want. I really like all the freedom they give you in this game. I know that I'm not going to try every combo, but it's good to know that the options are always there. Finding new ways to play the game keeps it fresh and entertaining, even though I'm about 6.5 hours in. What I also like about this game is that you can run and slide like you're in Call of Duty. I don't know why they added that in the game, but hey, I'm here for it. You can also see the different ways elements interact with the environment. For example, as I was still kind of going through the tutorial phase, I had to secure an item that was on this small platform, and the only way that I could get to it was if I froze some water to make a whole new platform. I want to see if this kind of creativity opens up throughout the rest of the game, because I would hate for this to be a pointless feature. You can cook in this game also, and I'm only making assumptions based off the recipes that I found. I mean, why give recipes if you can't cook, right? Now let's talk about what I don't like. What I don't like about the game so far is there is no life within the NPCs. Not only can you not attack random people, which I'll talk about later, the NPCs other than the main ones you interact with are just dull. You can hear them have conversations with other NPCs, but there aren't any dialogue options for when you try to speak to them. It's honestly a shame, because someone like me that likes to speak to every character I meet is disheartening when I can't do that in this game. It's not a huge complaint of mine, but remember that freedom I was talking about earlier? Well, it's not much when it comes to NPCs and trying to talk to them. I would have liked to ask some of the townies a question to hear more lore about the village. I was doing some research and came across comicbook.com, and they were talking about how you can't kill any of the NPCs in game and how that erodes the immersive quality of the game. I agree and disagree. On one hand, RPGs are supposed to make you feel as though you are part of the world. It should feel inviting and have you ready to explore new heights. I get all of that. However, maybe this has nothing to do with money. What if this was purposely done so you can focus more on the main story and side quests rather than trying to have pointless conversations with every person you run into? My biggest gripe with this game so far is that you can't melee with firearms. Yeah, I don't know why they skipped over adding that or they just forgot about it altogether. Either way, I would have enjoyed it, especially since that gives us as players more options in how we engage in combat. Something else that I don't like is that we have a big body of water that we can explore and dive into, and there's nothing in it. Like literally, there is nothing going on in that water, yo. It ain't one fish swimming around in that motherfucker, and I was highly disappointed. Like for real, I would have been more satisfied if they blocked us from getting in the water. That's just an artificial way of saying, hey guys, that game is huge, when in turn it's nothing like that. I hope that changes as I progress through the story a little bit more, because I would hate for that to be a big fat nothing burger. One more thing before I forget, you can't climb ladders quickly in this game. For example, you know how in damn near every game where you have to climb a ladder, you can press a button and make the process a little bit faster? Well, you can't do that in this game, and it's a bit annoying, but you get used to it. Overall, I do like the game, and I'm having fun playing it so far. By the time I come around to review Avowed, I really hope that it has gotten way better at that point. This game is on Game Pass right now if you've been looking for something new to play. Avowed allows me to live out a decent power fantasy, and I think you should be able to experience the same.